have no idea why we are in Afghanistan. If I mean our sore purpose, fine. And I want to go back again to what I said earlier. Obama won, and I don't know if anyone made it as clear as I just made it for you, but this is all spelled out in my new book. I keep giving it away, and I shouldn't verbally, but all right, it's a radio show. My book will be out October 12th. I can hardly wait so I can refer the page to you. I think it's actually already on Amazon, believe it or not. I don't even want you to look, but it's up there. I guess if you look, you can see the title and everything else in the picture. But one of my fundamental clarion calls in the new book is to get the hell out of Afghanistan. And one of the ideas that I articulate in my new book coming out in October is that the primary reason Obama won was to get us out of Afghanistan. Now, the reason I say that is because you knew he was going to get the black vote, which he did. I mean, was that a surprise? No. You knew he was going to get the drug addict hippie college vote. That was no surprise. Sure, they drummed up a little bit more support for them than normal, but that's not what pushed him over the top. He got a large percentage of the white voter who was normally going to vote Republican, but they saw too many of their own children and their friends' children coming home in pieces or in body bags from Iraq, and they just didn't want another endless war. It went on forever. At least they could buy the crap for a few years, but they didn't want it another 10 years. They didn't want a 30 years war. They didn't want it. They didn't want their son to go over there and die. And they said, you know what, I don't really care who wins. It's all the same. They're all crooks. At least this guy, this black guy, is going to get us out of Afghanistan. I'm going to vote for him. So he won, in my estimation, about 28 to 30% of the white blue-collar vote that would normally have gone to McCain. But they knew McCain was full of crap, and he was a continuation of Bush. So they said, all right, we'll vote for this guy. We don't know what the hell he's going to do. We don't care. They're all the same, blah, blah, blah. At least we won't have to worry about our kid coming home, mutilated or dead. So they voted for him, and guess what happened? He sent 30,000 troops to Afghanistan virtually 2 months later, 3 months later, and no one even noticed it. Nobody, not a word. Not a word. So now that we're coming upon the November election, the Republicans got all of the yackers in the media. Oh, we're going to win. We're going to knock out 12 to 25, 50. It's going to be a bloodbath. We're going to come back and we're going to save America. This way to the egress, step right up. Ringling Brothers, Bonham and Republican Party. Here we come. We're going to save you with small government, low taxes. We're going to privatize everything. We're going to sell the White House to the Chinese. You're going to wake up tomorrow. We're going to lease the White House back on a double lease plan, derivative White House plan. We're going to buy that White House, lease that White House, sell that White House, rebuy that White House. We're going to paint that White House. We're going to make it red, white, and blue. It's going to be Chinese and American. It's going to be run in a much more cost-efficient manner because we privatized the White House, the greenhouse, the outhouse, your house, my house. Step right up to the Republican egress. Here we come. We got the golfer. We got the wall banger. We're all here. We're all there. You're all there. You're all here. Step right up. We're going to take America. Well, guess what's going to happen? Mike has a different idea of it. You see, Obama may not be as foolish as you think. In fact, he's probably a lot smarter than you think. He is the president, after all. He didn't get there by being stupid. It is true that he is there because powerful interests want him there, as true for Bush and anyone else. But the fact of the matter is, the people who put him in power may want him to stay in power. They may not be ready yet for the old regime to come back, because the new regime has not yet mined all of the ground yet, so to speak. There's plenty of fish yet to come out of the pond before they bring back the next team. So what they're going to do, and you don't have to be a genius to see this, all you have to do is keep watching the bouncing ball. They just moved another aircraft carrier group into the area. Another one went in there. They're moving troops. They're moving men. Israel suddenly is our best friend again. They probably told Netanyahu, don't worry, Bubala. There's going to be plenty of gefilte fish in your future. Don't worry, we're sending the matzah packages. We're going to bomb Iran with you. And the reason they're going to do it is because in one fell swoop, once the Democrats unleash this incredible military that we have and let our heroes go after those cave dwellers, and they start killing enough troglodytes, and they smash Ahmadinejad into the Stone Age, and suddenly the threat to the Saudis and the threat to the Jordanian Sunnis, by the way, from the Shiite upstart called Ahmadinejad, who himself is probably not even Iranian by descent, according to Iranians I've spoken to. There's a great similarity, by the way, which no one has seemed to notice in the media, between a certain Austrian who declared himself to be a more patriotic German than any and led Germany to destruction, and Ahmadinejad, who may be from Turkey, who is about to lead Iran over the abyss with his insanity and his Jew hatred and his hatred of the West and his friends in the throwback turbans, ladies and gentlemen, because I am the great Shahs, the great Shahs, the great Shahs, the great Naz just told you the truth. Because the great Naz sees all and says all, and I am predicting that the war will come not in August, not the drums of August, because the election is not in September. And since the American moron cannot remember anything for more than approximately 12 or 13 seconds, the war might have to come a day before the election. But I think that might be too close to the election for them to actually even know that it happened, because they won't have heard it about it on the radio until so they have to do it perhaps 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks before the election. My guesstimation is October surprise will not be a surprise to yours truly. The October war will no doubt roll itself out, and one night you'll wake up at 3 in the morning with your great insomnias across the land, and you will hear the roar of the B-2s leaving the air bases once again on a mission, a milk run to Ahmadinejad's homeland. Now, of course, it will not be a devastation of the Persian people, because they're a wonderful, beautiful, advanced civilization, and nobody wants to decimate the people themselves. But it will be a surgical bombardment, as we all understand, of the nuclear facilities, which will certainly not devastate all of them, because they're so deeply within the ground. But God only knows what weapons we have. I don't know how deep these bunker busters can go today. I suspect it will put them back maybe 25 years. There will be a regime change. The women will be able to take off those filthy burqas. The women will be able to drive cars again. They'll be able to put glasses on again and go back to school and perhaps be human beings again, instead of being chattel of these old throwback bums, the 12th century little old men who oppressed them with their hatred, calling it the rugaboo, dugaboo, hugaboo, mugaboo, that keeps them impressed with the fact that the women must be oppressed, for the little men with the big beards to be impressed by oppressing the women. And that's my prediction for October. We are simply a small nation, a degenerate nation, a weakened nation, a hollowed out nation, and soon the enemies who have put us in this position will make their move. I can guarantee you, as I sit here, it will happen. They've already gone after our currency. They've tried to steal our currency and our treasury. They did a very good job. The only good news, if you want me to stop being so pessimistic, I realize many of you think that you have to be optimistic to be an American. You think that optimism is part of the American way. Well, good luck to you. If it works for you, God bless you. I've always used pessimism myself. To be very frank with you, I've been cynical and pessimistic since I'm about 7 years old, owing to the life I led, and owing to the blows I've had to take, and owing to the fact that I know reality. So to me, pessimism and cynicism has always worked. So it worked very well, frankly. So there's no point changing horses in midstream, and I'm way past midstream, by the way, and I'm not talking about a visit to the urologist. So now we'll go on to what I was saying to you before I got so easily distracted, because I am past that point. I forgot where, I swear to God, I'm just so giddy with a feeling of relief that so many people are finally coming to understand how they've been hoodwinked. And hoodwinked in a way that's so dangerous, it's unbelievable to me. And you realize that the one thing we had that was firm was our borders, until Clinton came along. Yes, it was Bill Clinton who started to erase the borders. Yes, it was Bill Clinton who got out that big eraser when he tried to pass NAFTA and GATT. And suddenly, I do remember very clearly, there was an INS commissioner. I can even remember her name. Her name was Meisner. Oh, yes. Yes, it was indeed. I have a memory like an elephant. It was old Doris Meisner, I believe, who ran the, not the IRS, pardon me, the INS, the Immigration Naturalization Service. And it was she who said we must erase the border. She worked around the clock to dissolve the border with Mexico for all the reasons we know, and we don't have to go into it. So it started with Clinton, it escalated with Bush, and it's almost catastrophically over under Obama. But they are simply the tools of the oligarchic gods who have put them in place to erase the border. They need the factories and this and that, and we're just simply a small market for the newly created world economy. And if you look at the world economy and you see the number of consumers in China and the number of Buicks they're selling in China compared to the number of Buicks that they're selling in Brooklyn, you understand where this country has gone. In years past, your grandfather would have bought a Buick, whether it was the Buick Roadmaster. If he was near a Rockefeller, he got a Roadmaster. If he was a Rockefeller in Brooklyn, he bought a Cadillac. a Cadillac, and if he was really a rich one, he went from the 62 to the 82 to the Fleetwood. But today, those days are gone. He doesn't buy the Buick anymore. It's the guy who came out of Tibet, and he's gone from a Paddy to a Caddy in virtually one generation. That's the new buyer for General Motors, from a Paddy to a Caddy in one generation. I'll be right back.
Savage. For all things news and talk radio, visit trncentral.com.
Is your computer running slowly? Thinking about buying a new one? Don't waste your money. Your computer could be infected with spyware, malware, viruses, registry errors, spam.